It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to everybody. It's the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct. Hey, we're here to talk about it's the fourth and short N.F.L. segment. Monday, the day after Sunday, Championship Sunday. We'll talk about it today. We had a good, I don't know. We were just talking about it a little bit a few minutes ago about football. Because I'm saying the fix is in. Go to left and right on my screen. It's trending. The DA, his Niners lost yesterday. We'll get into that here in a second. DA, what's up, brother? How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. I knew they were going to lose. I told y'all that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did tell us. Go back to the last episode, y'all. He did tell us that, for real. He did. Remember to like, click, and subscribe. I'll be saying that through the whole show. D-Dub, what's up?
What's good? What's good? Yeah, it's trending. The fix is in. It's trending. But disappointed in both games. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Dan, our hockey dude. Dan, what's up, brother? How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Good.
We're good, man. So listen, we'll start with the first game. The San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles winning 31-7. This game pretty much after the first quarter when Purdy got knocked out. And then I didn't even know, to be honest, DA who your backup quarterback was. And when he came in, I was like, who? And I didn't know that he played for so long, to be honest.
And so many teams.
And
Yeah,
so
Josh.
many. Yeah,
Josh played for
Johnson.
everybody.
Yeah, Josh Johnson.
Yeah. So the Eagles won. The game wasn't even close. I mean, after the McCaffrey touchdown, and the Eagles capitalized on all of the Niners' mistakes. And I'll just hand it to DA. Your thoughts on your Niners?
Better team, got work to do for next year. That's basically it, man. They were a better team. It wasn't just Purdy. The offensive line was better than our defensive line, and they got the best on both sides, and it makes it real easy, like extremely easy. So I saw that coming. I'm not a soothsayer, but better is still better, no matter where you do it at. Better is still better, and they were.
Let me ask you something about your offensive line play. It hasn't been like that last year. I mean, all year. What happened in this game or just the Eagles just?
They got the best defensive line in football and the best offensive line in football.
I was gonna, and I set that up. I'm gonna call the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. I'm gonna call them. Dan probably can attest to this. The Broad Street Bullies, man. They were just coming through and just hitting the Niners. Like I said, knocked out Purdy and
also he's young.
Johnson.
Dude's young.
Yeah,
he still didn't get off the ball quickly as he needed to. He didn't throw it away as quickly as he needed to for the few seconds that he was upright. But he'll get better. He'll learn. There was, I think what fast is till you see what fast is.
That's 100%.
And that's what happened. It was all good though. It was all good.
Good. I'll give it to D-Dub. D-Dub, thoughts on the game?
Yo, man, Philadelphia has been Philadelphia all year long. I mean, they had a couple of hiccups, but who doesn't have hiccups throughout the year? And the hiccups were very small. What can you do? Brock Purdy, you down to your third string quarterback. I mean, you go into the fourth, and then the fourth string quarterback gets knocked out. I mean, you don't really have much to do. Your whole plan, you got punched in the face, and your whole plan, all your papers is all over the place. It's like, what I'm saying? And that's what the Eagles did. They ran up on somebody, took his book bag, threw it up in the air. It was over. It was over from the start, man. So kudos to Philadelphia. Philadelphia moves on to Super Bowl 57, and should be a good game. What's the kid's name defensive. Rickett, is it?
Oh yeah,
I'm saying his name right?
Rickett was serious yesterday.
Man,
Like I said, he was part of that Broad
that
Street
Philly
bully thing
defense.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes.
that Philly defense is serious. And it's nothing like they're not really flashy offensively. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They just do work. I mean, you knew something was happening when he caught that one-handed pass in the first quarter. Then he's like, yeah, this is, it's gonna be a pretty long
Yeah,
day.
long day.
Let me ask DA this quick question. Let me put it back on DA real quick. DA, you think your coach he should have called for a challenge play of that catch, or did it matter?
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. He could have. It wouldn't have mattered though.
Right.
Even there was no momentum that say it was overturned, incomplete. Then they do a run past, 4th and 6th the next play and get it anyway. So
Right.
I don't know how much it would have mattered. I don't know. I don't know if I would have second guessed that call. Right.
Okay.
I don't know how many calls he had in the game he could have second guessed, period. But like I said, I'm all for anarchy, but dude, when another team's better than you, I'm the one dude take my hat off and be like, I got my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep it moving to next year.
That's 2 teams in a row. They have kicked their ass. Yes, absolutely. Dan, how hockey do? Dan, what's good? Your thoughts? Eagles and 49ers.
Man, I thought this, they had the makings of being a good game, but once Purdy got hurt, they were pretty bad. And I mean, in all seriousness, if you look, like I have the stats up or whatever. So, San Francisco, they should have probably signed 4 quarterbacks and put them on the roster just in case, because they've had issues with that all year. But look, Hurts went 15 to 25 for 121. They went 11 for, what's that, 18?
Yeah.
For 97. So, I mean, nobody lit up, the passing game. But the difference is the rushing game. San Francisco couldn't run the ball that much besides McCaffrey. He had like 15 for 84, and one of them was that 23-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But hell, you had Gainwell had 14 rushes for 48, Sanders 11 for 42 into 2 touchdowns. Hurts went 11 to 39 with a touchdown. This guy must be the 3rd or 4th string guys. Boston Scott, he had 6 for 21 and a touchdown. Yep. So basically every running back they had, except Gainwell, scored a touchdown.
Correct.
And collectively, they just ran the ball down the throat. To DA's point, they do have probably, like, was that Lane Johnson and Kelsey?
Yeah.
Had something ridiculous, like 4,000 snaps since the last time either one of them gave up a sack.
Yeah, they moved my D tackle 5 yards off the ball, first run.
They moved both sides of your linemen.
Like, damn.
But, like, even their D, like, that's the impressive part about them is they got their 4 guys up front, but the guys that come in to spell them are just as good. You got Sue coming in causing havoc. He almost did the same thing to Johnson.
Yep. It's hard.
It's a powerhouse defense, man. It's not, the Chicago Bears or anything, but
it's
pretty
stout.
good. It's a pretty damn good defense, and again, it was just disappointing because the matchup you thought we was gonna have something good, and it just didn't pan out. So that's kind of it left a little lackluster, bad taste in your mouth after.
Well, my question is if Purdy couldn't throw the fucking football, why did you play him after Johnson got hurt? Because I mean, you're basically telegraphing, hey, guess what? We're running every play.
Dan is scrambling, bro.
If you run the Wildcat with McCaffrey, at least he could throw short little dump offs.
A little bit, right?
Something with variety, because you couldn't move their fucking defensive line. Hassan Reddick was in the backfield all day long. I mean, he was getting his mail at the quarterback.
Well, like they say, man, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and then no more plan.
Bro,
that was it.
no more playing. There's no more playing, man. I mean, it's really it's not too much to say about this game. Yo, this probably was the easiest cakewalk I've ever seen going
For sure.
into the Super Bowl. To my DA, you might say something different. That to my knowledge, I can't remember it being this easy. And Philadelphia just, I mean, annihilated. Giants, San Francisco, they move on.
Yeah, I don't know
Never, I haven't seen it.
if it was easy or they just made it look easy, but either way, it was easy.
It was easy.
Currently, I'm sorry, D. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said currently the Eagles are 2.5 favorites. The line for the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll just finish this out. Yeah, we was thinking that this was going to be a very good competitive game, and once they knocked their quarterbacks out at the beginning, it was no bueno. They couldn't throw the ball. They had to run the ball, and it was just the makings of a nightmare of a game. And like DA said, they go back and retool, and we'll talk about that on another show about off-season things with the NFL. And there's pretty much not to say on this. I'll put a little side note. And I actually posted this on social media, my social media stuff. New York City, Empire State Building. Why, as a native New Yorker, why are we putting up the Philadelphia Eagles colors after their win? Don't
not only the Eagles, they did Kansas City as well.
So we're doing everybody. I mean, don't Kansas City and Philadelphia have tall buildings?
It's been that long for some team in New York.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, God.
They're adopted teams.
I saw that. I was like, why? What are we doing, man?
It's all inclusive, bro. Stop. I'm going to stop right there. Okay.
NFL buildings in Manhattan, man.
I mean, yeah, I get it. They're on Park Avenue, D, but geez, we never did that. New York City never done that, man. I don't understand that, man. That's
bro.
Let me move on to the next game. The next game, boy. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20. Pretty much a last second field goal. This game was back and forth. There was a lot of gaffes and errors by the official crew of this game. You had the play where they did the third down over. I've never seen that in my life.
After Cincinnati stopped them, got a major sack, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And we're gonna do it over.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, we did that, playing sandlot football back in the day. Hey, do over. Right? Nah. That's a do-over. That's a do-over, yo. And I'm watching. I'm like, how is this going down like this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dan, this is the team in your division. I'll start with you, and then I'll circle back to me. Your thoughts on this game?
You gotta love it. Honestly, it wasn't. To me, all that other bullshit doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, Cincinnati still had the opportunity, and they just had gaff after gaff at the end of the game.
I was going to bring that up, Dan. The Bengals had the ball 2 other times.
The first one he got picked off,
right?
Which I didn't understand that one. Go ahead, Dan. That long, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't. Double coverage.
But this was first half. I think the first 2 series, you could tell that the 3 linemen that were out was killing Cincinnati, because I think it was the second series that they sacked his ass 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
in a row. And kind of they figured that out at halftime. And it was a lot better, and Burow was throwing the ball a lot quicker. But I think he forced a couple of things late in the game that he hadn't. Yes. You could tell that the first half affected him in the second half, because he's waiting to get hit. But they only ran the ball 17 times?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Mixon and Perrine.
They were effective. They weren't they were not effective. They were effective running.
But the last series that they had, I think that it was first down. It was somewhere in the 30, 40 yard range, but it was like they had like just under a minute on the clock. And somehow they managed to fuck that up and give it back to them with 40 seconds on the clock. Then the kicker of we'll get to the last play that helped them, but the punter, why in the world are you kicking to the guy? Kick
In the
that
middle.
shit
In the
out of
middle.
bounds.
Yes, Dan.
You
I was
never,
going to bring that up.
especially late in the game, you never kick it to the guy because you never know.
You never know.
Don't give him the opportunity. Take the ball out of his hands, put it in the fucking stands.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they make a couple plays. He scrambles. I don't know what that dude's thinking. That guy was halfway to the parking lot when he hit him. I mean, he was well out of bounds.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get pissed off that they
right?
threw the flag. I mean, because you could clearly see he was damn near at the bench.
Joseph Osai.
Yeah, Joseph Osai. He kind of he. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just
sick.
I was gonna say that, like, in the Eli Apple penalty in the middle on that series at the end, the holding call when they stopped them. But it's like they killed their chances of going to the Super Bowl. It wasn't Kansas City stopping them; they stopped themselves.
Definitely.
Hey, let me shout out. Let me throw this to DA. Kansas City's defense.
They suck. They're
Wait,
still not really good.
You don't think they did a good job yesterday, though? And I give it to you, DA. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they did an above average job. I don't think they did a great job. They didn't do anything that would make anyone say that the Kansas City defense is great.
Right.
They can say Chris Jones is great. So they made one or two great plays here and there. You can say Cincinnati wet the bed, had a lot of bad passes, stopped running the ball. So it's kind of pushed into their hands to make them look good. But I don't see them. I didn't see anybody, and I said this all year, anybody in the AFC was that dominant, right? So everybody I've seen them, have good and bad. But I didn't think Cincinnati had a dominant defense. Of course, they don't have a dominant offensive line. They got a really good quarterback. They got good running backs, good receivers, but the head coach, he went to that not running the ball thing yesterday. And hey, as long as you're going to give the ball to Mahomes over and over and over again, this is probably what's going to happen to you. So I think they played a good defensive game against them. I don't think they can play that game against
Philly.
And I just think the National Conference has had better team. I think the AFC has better quarterbacks. And a lot of the skill position dudes they're better at. But as far as a end-to-end team, no. Because I don't think the last three that we've seen this season are really that good at all. And that would be Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. I don't think any of those three teams are great. I think they're good teams.
Well, we're in an era where they said, we need high power, high flying offenses.
Nope, you just need a good defense.
D-Dub, I'll get it to you, bro.
Yeah, real quick, man. This game was, like Dan said, Cincinnati beat themselves, man. They kind of beat themselves. I mean, that hit, which I was mad about, but I was mad at the moment, but in the moment, it's like, oh my God, it was just a push. But at the same time, you can't do it, especially on a team's home field.
Yeah.
And, you turn a 60-yard field goal into a 45-yard field goal.
Yep. Which is makeable. Which dudes, NFL
kickers
makeable. Are making 55 and 60 at the end of the game.
Yeah. 60, you like, okay, he can miss that. That's
right. 45. It's makeable.
It's makeable, man. Any decent kicker can make 45 and better, and under, But and that's pretty much was the game, man. The plays at the couple of plays, the clock, man, the referees, all that
You're
stuff is an issue for me. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Kansas City moves on, and Kansas City's is a good team in the AFC, but I'm gonna save my pick for Thursday, but I don't know. They're gonna have to do a whole lot of stuff in order to upset that Philadelphia juggernaut of a team over there. It's pretty what looks like a juggernaut, for what they did in the
yeah.
last couple of
The
games.
the new reincarnation of the Broad Street Bullies. And I'll just end it. Oh, not end it right here, but I'll just say a couple of things. Yes, Kansas City, they play well. Their defense played well. Mahomes was still hobbled a little bit. He's still able to get the ball off and throw some really good passes. As far as Cincinnati, like the rest of you guys said, they had an opportunity at the end. You had two um you had two opportunities when y'all had the ball and y'all didn't do nothing with it. Interception and then just 3 and out. 3 and out. So
Oh, Kev, getting back, I didn't understand that long pass from Cincinnati at that juncture. I didn't understand to go for it there. You had two defenders back there, Brian Cook and Joshua Williams. One tips it to the other, and you know, but they still had another chance. So yeah,
Yeah,
to your point, go ahead.
trying to run a hook and ladder.
Yeah,
Hey,
So,
if you give Harrison Buckner a field goal 50 yards or less,
yeah,
that dude's making it all day.
he's money.
Yeah, they got an excellent kicker. 60 might have been a little bit of a, you
and that's
know,
what I'm saying. It might be anything 60 back. It's going to be you be like, yeah, go try it. Go
but
ahead.
but
I
try it.
doubt it.
he
Yeah.
could make that though. I would still have faith that he's going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little bit more difficult, but that's what I mean. Like
Yeah, I
the
mean, you can have faith. Yeah, I get it. You can have faith he makes it, but generally, these games for any kicker, most kickers is not making 60 yards. So that's why
60
if
yards.
you beat me with the 60 yarder,
You deserve to beat me.
you deserve. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that
Bucker don't
penalty,
miss for 50.
that penalty, at least gives you. I mean, it just. I mean, you gave him an automatic shot, shot to make it. So that's all I'm saying. But
We all play, and we're gonna wrap it up here in a second.
yeah,
We all play team sports. What do you think about when Joseph Asai, when he made the penalty? I can't forget the dude's name of Cincinnati, and you've heard this, and that's what you get when you get hot mics and things of that nature right after the game. What is it?
oh,
I can't think of the gentleman's name that plays for the Bengals, but he was visibly upset, and he's like, he pretty much just paraphrasing saying, "Hey, I can't believe he put his hands on the quarterback during that time." Dan, did anybody find his name? We'll find his name here in a little bit.
hold on,
But people were mad, and I said, well, this is what you get when you stick microphones. Y'all want the raw content and raw all this. This is what you're gonna get. Yes, and he said it was his last season, and he was visibly mad that it ended like that. So it was I just think the last game the officials wasn't didn't have a very good game, so to speak. Everybody said the fix is in, but the Bengals had two opportunities to move the ball and to score the winning touchdown, and they didn't.
Jermaine Pratt, Kev.
Yeah, Jermaine Pratt had a absolute moment in that tunnel going to the locker room,
Yeah.
and he was visibly mad. And you see CBS panning over to the sideline where Asad was at, and he had a couple of teammates trying to console and whatnot. And and we'll get into this Thursday, and because I posted actually a TikTok yesterday about another play in another league and about referees swallowing whistles and things of that nature. So, which one is it? Do we actually call stuff all the time? Dan, the hockey dude. They third period. They or do they not swallow the whistle
and put whistles in the pocket.
and let them play, right? So, which one do you want?
Yeah, it depends on who's playing, right? And what the line is on the game. How much money. So it's
Yeah.
all about money.
It's about
You
that
know,
paper, boy.
people, I obviously it's hit a nerve because it's absolutely it's got a couple comments. It's like, oh, it's a foul. You know what? But this is a football show that we're doing. I have nothing else. Oh, I do have one other thing. I do have one other thing. A condolences to the Billy Packer's family. Billy Packer, if y'all don't know, famous.
Yeah, he passed.
He passed away this past weekend.
Great Billy Packer, yes.
The great Billy Packer for NCAA for college basketball. His son Mark is actually in the Charlotte area. I think Mark still does radio. My condolences to the Packer family.
No doubt.
Great thing. So
grew up on that man's voice, the voice.
Yep.
NCAA.
Hey, but fellas, gotta go. Love you all.
Yes.
Gotta bounce. All
Got
right.
it.
Hey,
Do
y'all
it.
have a good one, man.
Good. Well, since DA has ended himself, I got nothing else. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator for DA, who has subsequently ended the show. He dropped the mic. He has to go to work, of course. Hey, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator for Daryl D. Del Warren, for Dan Al Hockey Dude, for DA. As he bounced, Mike Mills, the angry one, James Eric. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all Thursday night. Be good. Later.